Welcome back to another edition of Vikings Film Room, brought to you by the Vikings Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Pete Bercich. Well, this is definitely my favorite time of the year, and no, not necessarily because of the holidays, but because it's Packer Week, going into Lambeau, playing outside, in the elements. Now, the Green Bay Packers got away with a win down in Miami last weekend, so let's take a deep dive. Jerry Gray, the defensive backs coach for Green Bay, made a lot was said about what his halftime speech and getting his guys ready, but let's look at the film and see exactly what happened. Now, in the first few plays, you're going to see Miami run the football effectively, and that's important. And once again, we've kind of put these plays in chronological order so you can see the ebb and flow of this football game. And Miami came out running, and they ran the ball well, which resulted in other big plays. Now, the Packers, they've struggled with the run, and we'll see in this first play, it's more about fitment for them sometimes, and it's just getting guys lined up. So these are some of the problems that you have. On the first play, you're going to see the tight end in the wing. He goes in motion, and his job is just to seal everything off backside. The offensive line is blocking down, kicking everybody out. And what you're going to see right when the running back gets the ball and he's about to cut north and south, you'll see two jerseys. You're going to see Preston Smith and the DB on the outside. That means two guys have contained, two rear ends and one gap. That's never good. Running back cuts it back, and he's north and south. And this is a 14-yard gain. Packers having problems early stopping the run. In Film Room, we've talked about this many, many times. Whenever you see a defense prior to the snap and they're waving guys around, that's not good. That's poor communication. That's guys not getting lined up right. And you're going to see those issues right here. You get one guy go in motion. One offensive player goes in motion. And Devondre Campbell's pushing guys around, moving guys, trying to get the rookie linebacker over. And what ends up happening is, again, you have two defensive linemen shooting themselves upfield. Devondre Campbell tries to get back into this, but he can't because the D linemen are all chasing the quarterback. Miami gets another big run. This one, I believe, 17 yards right up the middle. Now, why are those first two plays so important? Well, this next play is the exact reason. And you're going to see, again, the Packers having problems getting lined up. But what's changing is right before the snap, the safety, Darnell Savage, moving down into the box, they had to dedicate themselves to an 8-man box. Now, at the bottom of the screen is Jalen Waddle. Now, watch Jalen Waddle on this screen. This reminds me of Justin Jefferson against Detroit. When Detroit went to the 8-man box, you only have two corners and a safety. Jair Alexander tries to pass off Waddle. He catches this football right in the gap, underneath the safety, over the nickel backer, and catches this thing, turns, and runs north and south. It's a missed tackle right there late by Jair Alexander. Again, if that's what they're talking about, the DB's not playing well, this is it. This is the scheme. But they ran the ball well to begin the game, and then they got explosive in the passing game. Okay, so after the big touchdown by Waddle, Miami sticks with the run. This time they have a wide receiver in the backfield, and they're moving things around, and the Packers are having some issues with just getting lined up right. But you'll see, watch Quay Walker here on the outside. Guard pulls, comes over, Quay Walker decides, yeah, I'm going to come underneath this and take that inside gap, but then he tries to bounce out late, and that's no good because there is no contain. There is nobody outside. So great move by the running back. Again, another big run by Miami, and they had to run the ball in order to throw the football. So what looks the same? Well, two backs in the backfield, almost the exact same type of formation that they ran, that Miami had run the football. But watch Tyreek Hill at the bottom of your screen, and what you're going to notice is that both of the defensive backs are way off of him, and they're giving him a ton of space. So right before the ball is snapped, you'll see, again, the safety kind of inserting himself, and then Tyreek Hill gets off the football, gets behind that safety and underneath the corner, easy throw and catch for a first down. But again, it's off that run action that netted Miami a lot of yards on the ground. Now, again, why was Miami explosive in the passing game? Because they ran the football well. And you're going to see in this next play action and how it sets everything up. But once again, Tua, play fake, gets to the top of his drop, and you'll see Tyreek Hill at the bottom of your screen. He's one-on-one with Adrian Amos, and Adrian Amos is outside. He's on the side of the receiver to the sideline on the opposite hash mark. See that safety settle. Tyreek Hill just keeps running north and south, and Adrian Amos is 5-10 yards away from him. Just can't get back there in time. Huge throw, 52-yard completion by Tua off the play action. So now we're in the second half. So this is after the Jerry Gray speech to the defensive backs. So we're going to see what changes. And I think what you'll see on film is that it's not necessarily what the DBs were doing. It's Tua Tagovailoa and what he was doing. On this first play, you'll see Tyreek Hill go in motion. Now, this is just another form of the RPO where they run Waddle through a zone and then Tyreek Hill kind of right behind him to open that area up. And when Tua lets go of this football, you'll see, well, one thing for sure is Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, turns into an alligator. So this is partly on him because he doesn't go up for the football, but this one goes right to Jair Alexander. He's able to pick that thing off and go the other direction. So again, it's not necessarily the DBs changing what they do, it's Tua overthrowing his receiver. All right, another great example of play action passing working. Now this time though, this is not against an 8-man box. This is against middle open. The Packers here are playing quarters, but watch Adrian Amos. He's at the bottom of your screen, just outside the hash mark. He'll get the run fake play away from him. And as he sets up, he sees Waddle working toward the middle of the field. Now, he squats at about the 46-yard line, and he's ready to break down on this crossing route all the way across the field from Waddle, but for whatever reason, he just can't get there. And Waddle just puts some space on him to the sideline. Tua makes a great throw. Adrian Amos just a little bit late on some of these deep crossing routes. All right, on this next play, Miami is going empty. Green Bay is in quarters, and this is just guys not being where they're supposed to be. And I think with the Packers and their linebackers, Devondre Campbell, they just don't always get where they need to be. You'll see 4 receivers to the top of your screen, and you have 4 defensive backs over the top. But watch Tyreek Hill. He'll work his way up the field, works his way outside, but if you look at Darnell Savage, he's turned, and his shoulders are facing the sideline. He's completely turned around. He can't break down on that in route, and it's just an easy throw and catch behind the linebacker, underneath Savage, way too much room. It's another huge play. So playing coverage, the Packers really didn't change or get a whole lot better. It's just what happens with Tua, and these next plays will be perfect examples of it. Okay, this is a huge interception by Devondre Campbell, but what you're going to see on Miami's side. So this is more about what Miami did necessarily than what Green Bay did. You'll see the receiver in the slot on the bottom. He's looking out right before the ball snap. He doesn't know exactly what he's doing. As Tua gets to the top of his drop, he's expecting the receiver to run a curl route. The receiver is still running a go route. The receiver's not even looking back when this ball is thrown, but Devondre Campbell is. He steps underneath, intercepts the football, heads north and south. I mean, this is a huge drive killer for Miami late in this game, but it was a miscommunication. So we've had an overthrow pick and a miscommunication interception by the Miami Dolphins. And finally, late in the game, you're going to see another interception by Tua. This time, Green Bay is in Tampa 2, basically. And Devondre Campbell, instead of bailing out, he's already about 14 yards off the football. So basically, you see the 2 safeties, Devondre Campbell deep, but at the bottom, watch Rasul Douglas. He jams the receiver, and in cover 2, he's going to sink. He's got the high-low. Basically, it's just that high-low route, trying to put the corner in a hard spot against cover 2. But Tua wants to get it over the top, wants the big play, and Rasul Douglas just settles underneath that thing, catches it, and then smartly takes a knee. So overall, you're seeing the importance of a run game against this Packers defense. Getting guys, moving guys around. They're having some troubles getting lined up, guys out of their gaps. Once you can get explosive in the running game, that opens up the passing game. We saw many big plays, RPOs, off the play action. And again, Tua went downhill, right? Missing targets, misjudging things. So it wasn't necessarily the Packers playing better. It was Tua playing worse in that second half. We get Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson out there, I think we'll be able to put some points up against this Packers defense.